Hey y'all, welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos, and welcome back to Kate's Giving. I hope you guys are enjoying this month-long series of posting every day-ish, but in today's video we're going to be diving into the Blush Tribe and Paulina palette. Now if you don't know what this is, or if you've never heard of this palette, it's because Blush Tribe is no longer available. They did shut down, but not before collaborating with Paulina, who also has been taking a bit of a break here on YouTube, but I will link her YouTube channel down below because she still has videos up. Highly recommend you go check them out. I really do miss seeing her here on YouTube, but anyway, she collaborated with Blush Tribe for this color story. Look at this fun and unique color story. I have been wanting to go back to this palette for so very long, and this was one of my top 10 for 2019 palettes, and I'm revisiting all of those palettes during the month of November, so I'm super excited to get to create a look with this palette, and it is obviously what is on my eyes today. I used every color except this shade, Paulina. My bad, I used every shade but Paulina. So if you want to see me create another look with this palette, see how the palette quality is, because it's been a couple years since 2019. I think this launched the beginning of 2019. It's been a couple years, so we can use it again. And I'm also giving you guys a bit of a life update on where we are with our new house that we bought. We bought a house with a bunch of land in April, but it was a fixer-upper, so we haven't moved into it yet. So giving you guys a bit of a life update on that aspect. So with that said, let's go ahead and hop right into the get ready with me. Okay, so I have been wanting to go back to this palette for so very long. So beautiful. So let me see what we want to do. I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to dive into the green first, and if I for the outer corner, and if I want more depth, then I'm going to dive into the purple. You guys know I like depth on my outer corner, so we'll see what we can get with that. But let's dive into that green, and let me clean off this brush real quick before I use it. But it has been a while since I gave you guys an update on how things are going. Cannot remember exactly what I told you guys the last time I did an update video, which I can leave that video up here. I think I did an update video like shortly after we moved into this house. So I'm just gonna kind of go from there and give you guys an update. We bought a house with a lot of acres. We loved the land, but the house was old and needed a lot of work. It was built in the 70s, and it was a very unique type of like maintenance and build-ons that happened to it. So we bought it knowing we would have to do a lot to it. We had to like rewire the whole house because it had old wiring. So we purchased it knowing that it was going to take a lot to get it livable for us to live in it. So that's kind of, we bought it, we moved into a house about 5 minutes down the road from the house with land, and then we after we got all settled in, we started, you know, looking for people to work on the house because my husband is super busy, and now that we live and moved, we moved farther away from where he works, so he has a much longer commute right now, and we just did not have the time. I was also pregnant. Don't miss that, but I was pregnant and had the kids and moving, and it was just a lot. So we were looking for a contractor to help fix up everything that we needed with the house. Like I said, it needed entirely new rewiring because the wiring was like original old, and it's just not the safest nowadays. So we needed that. We needed a new roof. There were a lot of things that needed to happen, bathrooms, so it was a lot going into it, and that's pretty much what we've been working on since we bought the house. I think in April or May. It took a little while to get things going, and then also once we got things going, like it took a while for contractors and stuff to get supplies in and whatnot. But now, as I'm sitting down to record this, it is end of October, and we're so close to getting to move in. We're super excited. We're just waiting on a few final things. The rewiring is still happening. It's in the final stages. Thankfully, that's been the most longest and painful process. Oh my goodness. And this past weekend, we were actually doing some painting now that they had to open up a lot of walls to do rewiring in order for that to make that happen. So we had to repair those walls, and now that all the walls are finally back up, we've been able to do some painting around the house because we got to blend the new walls with the old walls, and it just needed a paint job in general. So it's getting really close to us being able to move in. We're getting really excited. It's been a very long and painful process, but we definitely learned a lot along the way. I'm gonna go into that purple now. Something we didn't anticipate was just how hard it was gonna be, like not only on us, but like on the kids kind of doing this fixer upper, is that like, you know, the kids they're pretty tired of all the back and forth and having all their stuff in boxes, because we did, when we moved into this house, waiting for the house that we bought on land to get fixed up. We downsized a bit, and so we have stuff over there sitting at the house that we're fixing up. We have stuff over there and just boxes waiting to be unboxed, and then stuff here I had to keep in boxes because we just don't have the room. A lot of stuff is in the garage, so there's been a lot of like, oh, where's this? Oh, I miss this. Or their toys especially, which probably isn't a bad thing because I did have a lot of toys, but their toys, I kind of boxed up half of them. And since we moved in here in like April, I think it was when we moved, end of April, I box it up, and then like 3 times we'll go and like change out toys. So that's been good. I think it's good to like not have all the toys at their disposal all the time because it's just overwhelming. I mean, when we had the space, it was like, whatever, everything has a home, it's fine. But now that we don't have the space, it's like, let's rotate. And then it makes the toy so much more, you know, special when you bring it out and whatnot. So, yeah, but that's been something we really didn't anticipate. I guess for the kids, we were like, oh yeah, this isn't going to be easy. But I think for ourselves, my husband and I, we weren't expecting how hard it was going to be or how impatient we were going to be towards the end, because I don't feel like it's been that long, but now that we're getting close to it, we're both, especially in like August, or no, September, I feel like was the hardest month of us just being like, okay, I'm done with all of this. Like I really just want to move in and be settled and stop all the back and forth. I'm going to take this, let's do this pink shade on the inner corner. But we're getting really close. So like I said, we had to get a new roof, we had to rewire the house. The bathrooms needed a lot of help because they were the 1970 bathrooms. They were very unique, interesting, and just not practical, like for starters, and just like, you know, using it every day. Like the kids' bathroom was really oddly set up because you like walked in, and first off you open the door and the door would open and hit the toilet because the door would open into the toilet, and then immediately on your right after you opened the door was a sink, and then like in front of that was a pocket door. Like as soon as the door opened, it almost touched the pocket door that you could shut, and you could kind of like turn around and shut the door behind you to have just a toilet and a sink there, and you could also open the pocket door, go through, and there was a shower and another sink. So I get kind of the concept of like, oh, so someone can take a shower, shut and lock that door, and people can still use the bathroom. I kind of get that, but I don't like the way it was set up. Like it made the toilet area just so tight. You had two sinks like almost right next to each other because it wasn't that big of a bathroom, and the pocket door wasn't really the best, and I didn't like the setup at all. So that's something we got fixed, and we tore out and took out one whole sink, the one right next to the door, took out a wall just to open it up, so it's just one bathroom that you go in, and there's a toilet, a shower, and a sink, and there's just more room to like walk and breathe in there. And also we're gonna have the door switch so you're not opening the door and hitting the toilet, because that was just interesting. So yeah, we're doing that, almost done with that. And then the master bathroom, we're actually did a lot too as well, because the master bathroom and bedroom didn't have a wall separating. It was like one open wall, and there was carpet throughout, like even into the bathroom, and I was just like, don't want carpet in my bathroom. Also would like some privacy. It did have a wall, didn't have a door, but it had a wall, which I don't even know what they were called, but basically I remember my grandma had a shower. It was made out of this, but they're like cubes of glass made to look like ice cubes, but giant ones, and they had a wall of it. I have pictures somewhere, maybe I'll put them in here, maybe I'll put them in the next video after we move in, but it was quite unique, and yeah, that had to go. I didn't love that, and also I wanted to have a separate master bathroom and master bedroom, so that's something where we had them build a wall basically, and a door and all that stuff. So that is getting close to done. Also the shower and all that, we had to we took out a wall that separated the like toilet area and shower from the sink and the rest of the master bedroom. So yeah, the bathrooms area has been the most work that we've been doing on the house. Well, not most work, but I guess the most obvious work. Once we move in, that'll be the most different, because a lot of work like doing the walls, rewiring the house, doing the roof, like it had all that already, so it's not super like, wow, look, it's different. But the bathrooms are definitely going to be that's like, wow, that's different. We didn't do anything much. Oh yeah, I should tell you guys. I'm gonna go into this shade, and then I'll probably dip it into a little bit of this shade to kind of mix the two if I need to. But anyway, we didn't do anything much with the kitchen. We didn't do any remodeling. I was really happy with the way the kitchen was very open and had a lot of cabinets, had a lot of counter space. I was really happy with that setup. Maybe in the future we'd like to update it, because it is a little bit like some aspects of it are a little maybe dated, or you know, just maybe not in the best spot. It has a gas stovetop that I don't know how much we'll actually use because it's so old, that type of thing. And we had to, they didn't have an oven in the kitchen, so we had to buy a separate oven which has a stovetop maybe down the road, like I said. So yeah, the bathrooms are going to be the only kind of obvious thing. We had to refloor the house because the flooring was done themselves and was questionable, and they had a lot of carpet in areas we didn't want carpet, and then the carpet itself just needed to be replaced. So all that is just so close to getting done. Right now as I sit down and record this, it's like a couple days until November, and we have to, like I said, there's still a few final things they're working on the house for rewiring. They said hopefully rewiring should only take another week or so, and then they'll be officially done. And then once the rewiring is done, they should, by that time, they should be done with the bathrooms, and then we're going to have the carpet installed mid-November. And once the carpet's installed, the wiring is done, the bathrooms are done, I think we're ready to move in. So we are really hoping, we're trying not to bank too hard on it because things can come up, but we're really hoping that we can move in by, or before Thanksgiving. That's kind of the thought slash plan. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more purple. I really like how the purple green mixed together to give this beautiful dark color. I'm just gonna bring it a little bit in. So yeah, it would be so nice to be moved in for Thanksgiving, but we'll see if we can make that happen, which also means like I had decided to do Kate's Giving before like all of this kind of came up, and it was like, oh wow, we're almost done. So like you guys might be able to move in before the end of November. So I might be doing a move while doing Kate's Giving and trying to upload every day. So that should be interesting. We shall see, which is one of the reasons I've been trying so hard to get everything pre-filmed, which I'm doing pretty good. I think I have like 5 more videos to film at this point. And then I'll have all the videos for November filmed. So I'm just gonna have to be editing like crazy in all my little patches of free time in November. All right, let me catch this eye up because for whatever reason I switched over to this eye, but I like how it looks. So I'm gonna catch this eye up real quick. I gotta grab a new battery and then we can get back to chatting about a little life update. All right, I'm just gonna add a little bit of NYX primer before we go into the shimmers. So yeah, it's been quite the process. Thankfully nothing too, you know, horrible has happened, or there's been no like super big delays, but just a lot of little tiny stressors is how I would describe it, and especially having to do the majority of it when I was pregnant and had the kids and trying to coordinate. And my husband, like I said, he had a longer commute, so he's been, you know, gone a little bit longer, harder for him to pop home or just be able to get home quickly, even on the days when he gets off early, that type of thing. And me just having to deal with a lot of the stuff that goes into like coordinating and talking to people for the fixing up of the house and whatnot, because he is working such long hours. People usually just aren't open by the time he gets off and stuff like that. But we are so close to being done. I am so thankful. I'm gonna go in. Let me see how dark this green is. It's a pretty green. So these are the 3 shimmers. Let me grab this one a little bit more. I'll do these 2 on the lid and then this one for the inner corner. We'll use all of them. And I think we'll have used all of the colors in this palette except this one. Not too bad. All right, diving into that green first. My makeup room, or like this spot where I record, I really am not sure what I'm gonna do. We do have a decent sized closet in the new house that we're gonna be moving into next month, but I've measured it a couple times and it is still a bit smaller than this space, like the space that I have from this wall to that wall to have this set up currently. It's like a foot or so shorter, so I'm just like, my filming space keeps getting smaller and smaller as we move this year. So I'm sure it'll work out. I'm not much of a planner, and I'm just like, when we move there, it's gonna have to be in the closet. I'll figure out how to set it up when I get there, but that's kind of a little bit got me, no, I wouldn't say stressed, but I'm a little bit like, oh, bummer, it's gonna be different, and I'm not really sure how I'm gonna set it up or if I'll like it. I've really been enjoying this setup because I can just have one type of lens on my camera, and it's perfect, the perfect spot for close-ups like this. Like I can really get decently close to the camera so you guys can see, but also it works well if I go all the way, like literally touching the bookshelves back there. It's far enough away that it's a nice nice setup for just, you know, more talk through review when I just want chit chat and show products, that type of thing. So this setup, while it's definitely much smaller than my setup last year that I had before we moved at the beginning of this year, it's been nice. I really enjoyed it. So the fact that the closet I'm gonna be moving into next month is even smaller than this, I'm just like, how's that gonna be? I might have to change lenses, and I'm just a little bit worried that the quality is gonna go down, or I'm not gonna like how my videos look when I'm editing and recording them, because I'll have to change up the lens. And I really like this lens, how it fades the background when I'm super up close, but even when I'm backed up a little bit, it does a little bit of fading. I don't know, I just really like the quality of this lens, so I hope I can still use this lens when I go back to the other house. But I think I might not be able to, and I'm a little bit sad about that, going into that purple. But like I said, I'm not much of a planner. I'm gonna figure it out when I get into the house. And that's another reason that I'm really trying to get all these videos pre-filmed, so that if it takes me some time to figure out a good setup, or just try to, like I might even have to buy a new lens, like I really don't know. I'll just figure it out once I get in there. But I wanna pre-film everything so that if for whatever reason, say we move in mid-November and I just can't figure it out enough to film decent videos, and it takes me a while to get the lighting set up, because like all these are just, took me a while to get them set up, and that was back when I didn't have a newborn. So that's why I'm trying really hard to pre-film everything before Capemas starts, so that during November I can edit and then move, because that's going to take a lot of effort. I don't enjoy moving. Thankfully, we're 5 minutes down the road. We're not really boxing up a ton of stuff, but we are going to, of course, have to have one day where we take all the big stuff over, rent a U-Haul, and take it all over. So we have to plan a little bit for that, but other than that day when we take over like all the big furniture, the beds and stuff like that, we're gonna kind of do everything else in stages, just so we're able to go through everything we have before we bring it to our permanent home and make sure we still want it. We want to hold on to it, and we have a place for it, because we are downsizing. We're actually upsizing from this house that we're currently in, because this house is pretty small. And then the house that we're moving into once the renovations are done is a couple hundred square feet bigger. So I'm excited to get that extra space, because this house has been a little too small for my comfort, and honestly, we have a lot of stuff. If this was our permanent home, we'd have to do some serious purging and getting rid of stuff. But anyway, all that to say, we went from our house at the beginning of the year, before we moved, was I think double the size of the house we're currently in. So we have a lot of stuff we need to go through, and also at that house that we used to live at, it just had massive closets, and when we went to move, I realized how much I just shoved into the closet when I didn't know what to do with it. So we're gonna move all the big stuff over to the new house and move in, and then we're gonna keep kind of all that miscellaneous stuff in the garage and not bring it into the house until we are able to go through it and decide if we actually like want to keep it, like we're actually going to use it and need it in our lives. And we will have more time at this house, like we don't have to be out of it immediately, thankfully. So we're going to kind of keep some stuff here to go through and kind of do a soft move in that respect of like all their toys. I want to kind of look through and, you know, get rid of some are broken, some they don't want to play with anymore. We have tons of baby toys that, like, yeah, baby toys come in really handy when you have a new baby, but at the same time, you don't need a ton of them. So I want to go through them. So we're going to do a lot of that as we move. But hopefully we'll be sleeping at the other house before Thanksgiving. And then it'll just be a lot of back and forth and working at moving. I'm just going to take that darkest purple, darkest green on the same brush. I really like how this look is turning out. I thought I remember that green shade being more of like this color green, but maybe not. Anyway, I wouldn't mind if it were. But this purple, that shimmer purple, is gorgeous. That is a stunning purple. I miss Paulina on YouTube. It's been a while. She's had a lot going on in her personal life, so like, not complaining over here, but just I miss her. I really do miss her. But she's got some good news coming. I'll link her Instagram if you want to catch up with her and see what she's been up to. But I'm super excited for her, and I understand why she's not posting on YouTube, but even though I understand, I can still say I miss her, and she did such a great job with this collab. I only tried, I think this was only the second palette I tried from Blush Tribe before they like shut down. I think I only had this one and then the Hasina too, I think, but they had nice quality. I just playing around with it now, like it's still super pigmented. It's more of a thinner formula, but very pigmented. All right, I threw on my wings real quick. Let me dust off. There's a little bit of, I think, shimmer purple that fell, but not bad, honestly. Man, these allergies for fall got my nose itching all the time. All right, let's finish out the lower lash line. I went ahead and threw on my mascara, and I'm gonna put this pink in my waterline. This is Odin's Eye from the Solomon collection. They have some like really awesome colors that just go on so pigmentedly. like the orange and the pink. I think those are the two brightest shades so far that I've tried. The blue isn't very bold, but I still have to kind of like wipe, when I'm doing my waterline at least, I have to kind of wipe it on my arm or on my hand just to kind of get the, I guess the top of it that's dried off a little bit. But besides that, like I said, there's some really good ones. I think the orange is my all-time favorite one, and then this pink is a close second just because they're so pigmented. And they stay pretty nicely all day. I still get some wear down, but some of them just don't transfer at all. Like there's some of them that's just like, I don't see anything, this one's no good. So there's like hit or miss within their whole collection or all the different liners. But let's go ahead, I'm going to take, let's do the purple and then we'll use that last pink, maybe. Oh no, I shouldn't use pink. I always do this. I'm like, oh, let's throw pink on the lower lash line and then I look sick. So I'm gonna do the purple and then we'll do that mid-tone green. And the pink in the waterline will pop more, I think. So anyway, yeah, we're getting really close. It's going to be really interesting during the month of Kate's Giving, in the month of November. Oh wait, I'm posting this in November, so it's going to be very interesting this month, as I am trying to edit all these videos, and that is the biggest reason why when I made my intro, I was like everyday-ish, because mom life comes first, my personal life comes first, and we're going to be hopefully doing a move unless something comes up and we have to wait longer, but we would really like to be moved in for Thanksgiving. That would be awesome if we could do that, but we shall see. Like I said, I'm going to go into that mid-tone green. I'm not planning on doing like a house tour or anything, mainly because I feel like that's not really what this channel is about, but also like privacy and stuff. But I think once I'm settled, I'll show you guys a few rooms, kind of like the before and after. If you guys are curious, maybe like in this type of video where I'm doing makeup and just chit-chatting with you guys, can show you guys kind of like what it looks like. And I am planning to do a room tour of this house before I move, so that's something I gotta record pretty soon here because we're getting close to where I'm gonna have to pack things up and take it over there. But I do want to do a room tour of this house because I've had a room tour of like my makeup slash filming room for every house I've been in since I started my YouTube channel. So I was like, I need to do this house before I pack it all up and leave. So I'm gonna film that and I'll be posting it sometime this month. I have no idea when. Once I'm settled, probably sometime in the new year, I'll eventually do a room tour of my new house. Like I said, that might take a little while for me to be happy with it, at least enough to want to film a room tour. But I at least want to do one of this room. Here's this. This is what I'm going in for the inner corner of this one, because even though it's small and I'm doing it right next to like my clothes, like they hang up right next to me, it's been a really nice setup that I really enjoy. And it's also because it is so kind of close and tight. I moved stuff around shortly after Sophia was born, and now I actually have like all my makeup right next to me, so I don't really need like an everyday makeup drawer anymore because I can just use all my makeup every single day. And I've really been enjoying that, just being able to change up like my foundation from day to day and just try stuff that have been for the longest time in my makeup collection, but it's been like way behind me and just too hard to kind of reach for every day unless I think about it before I sit down type of thing. So it's definitely something I want to try to keep and kind of situate and set up in the next house, of being able to have my makeup collection right next to where I get ready, because I like being able to use whatever I want. So yeah, at this point we're pretty much all done. I'm gonna pick a lipstick and then we can close out this video. Alright, so this is the completed look. You saw it in the intro, but here it is. I'll throw up some close-ups so you guys can see really close up, but I was super happy with the quality of this palette. It's still really nice. There's a bit of like a dryness, and some of the shades do look like they have a hard pan, but I just kind of worked around. Like the hard pan is really only on the mattes, right in the center, so I just kind of picked up around it. The shimmers were beautiful. They have a lot of sparkle to them. They're a bit softer and like smoother than the shimmers that are coming out today, but there's a ton of sparkle with them. They're very smooth and easy to put on, and they're a type of shimmer that I really like. So yeah, overall very happy to finally get to go back and revisit this palette. I should have said in the intro at least, there's paint on my hand because, as we talked about in the video, we were painting this past weekend. So anyway, moving on, now that I've told you guys at the end what's on my hands, you guys are probably wondering the whole video, like, what's wrong with Katie? Anyway, yeah, it was a lot of fun to get to revisit this palette. I really did enjoy it, and I hope you guys enjoyed hearing me just chit-chat about life and, you know, how things are going. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below in the comment section of, like, you know, if you want to know some stuff about the renovations, or maybe a specific aspect of like, oh, how did it go with, I don't know, putting on a new roof, or what was a rewiring like, that type of thing. Let me know that down below in the comments, and maybe I'll do another video, because I feel like I was very kind of just like overall very general with our renovations that have been going on for is it over 6 months at this point? Ever since like April, May. Anyway, so if I kind of glossed over some area that you would like to know a little bit more about, let me know down in the comments, and if it's a topic I'm comfortable sharing on the internet, I can talk about it in a future update once we've moved into the new house and we're settled, and I can address it maybe during a future video. So let me know down below if there's anything you wished I would have talked about or covered in this video. So with that said, that is going to do it for me. As always, I'm over on Instagram. I'm LadyKatie92 over there. I post reels, up close eye pictures, all that sort of thing. LadyKatie92. And with all that said, that is going to do it for me, and hopefully I'll see you guys in a video tomorrow, if not the next day, but trying to upload every single day during the month of November. So I will see you guys in that video. Bye.